sometimes, rather than being given as an angle to the x-axis or y-axis, forces are given in vector form, and for that we use column vectors, which really goes back to stuff that you learned at GCSE. So for example, here, force A has vector 0, 4, so it actually just has magnitude 4 newtons vertically upwards in the y direction. Force B has vector 3, 2, so it can be written as 3, 2. The magnitude of force B then would just be, by Pythagoras, the square root of 3 squared plus 2 squared. Anyway, force C has the column vector 3 minus 2, and force D has column vector minus 2, 0. And you can see quite clearly there, all that means is that force D is a force of 2 newtons to the left, in other words, in the negative x direction. Now, the nice thing about vectors being given, forces being given in vector form like this, is that it's far easier to actually work out the resultant force. All you actually have to do is add together the 4 different forces, or however many forces you have, in vector form. So we just do 0, 4, plus 3, 2, plus 3, minus 2, plus minus 2, 0. And simply the easy way to add those up is just add the vector part in the x direction. So that's 6 take away 2, which is 4. And then 4, 6, well, that just comes out as 4. So in other words, the resultant force of these 4 forces together is one single force which would go up in this direction, so 4 and then 4. So the resultant of these 4 forces, if I just put it there, there's the resultant force. Okay, it's in that direction. Now, in order to find the magnitude of that resultant force, well, it's just going to be the square root of 4 squared plus 4 squared. So the magnitude is going to be the square root of 32. In other words, 4 root 2. So the magnitude is just 4 root 2 newtons. The direction, well, you can see in this case, the direction is going to be at 45 degrees, but obviously you could use the normal method using trigonometry. So in this case, the magnitude of the force of the resultant is 4 root 2 newtons at an angle of 45 degrees above the positive x-axis. And that's it, basically. Very easy. If forces are written in vector form, you can find the resultant force by simply adding together the vectors. Very easy.